Our first lesson on solving equations is going to involve the vocabulary. The vocabulary for solving equations starts with the word equation. An equation is a math sentence that shows two quantities that are equal. So let's look at an example. An example is 1 plus 4 equals 2 plus 3. They have to be balanced so that they're equal on both sides. Both equal 5, they have the same value. So this equal sign is referring to the fact that the quantities on both sides are exactly the same, worth the same amounts. The second word is sometimes we have equations that have variables. A variable is a letter or a symbol that stands for an unknown number. So for example, we're used to seeing this equation here that would say 5 plus 2 equals something. That 5 plus 2 is an expression. So we have to have a quantity on the other side of the equal sign. So 5 plus 2 equals n. N represents an unknown number until we solve our expression. So when we solve it, we see that n is going to be equal to 7 because 5 plus 2 equals 7. So the value on the two sides of the equal sign is the same, n being the variable. So next we need to talk about the word isolate. When we deal with solving equations, we often talk about isolating the variable. That means to get the variable or to get alone is to isolate. So the variable on one side of the equation where the expressions we need to solve on the other side of the equation. So an example above, we've isolated the n because it's on this side of the equation by itself. So once we solved our 5 plus 2, we've also solved for our variable n. The last thing are words that we're familiar with from our expressions, which is the directions in order to solve. It might say simplify the expression to solve for the variable. So here's that word solve for the variable. So whatever letter we're solving for, that is what we're talking about here. Evaluate also means to solve. So it means to find the value. 3 different ways that you might be asked to solve an equation.